Hendra Lau. You can call me Henry. Okay. And this webinar, in terms of the intended audience, good morning everyone, Feroz and everybody else. I've got a lot of hundreds of people right now joining. So if you have questions, guys, because a lot of people are in the webinar now, just maybe sometimes I may not be able to answer, but I'm trying to do this webinar within an hour. Okay. And stay until the end because I will use a live example at the end on how we can go ahead and label Elliott Wave charts from scratch, as well as how to read an Elliott Wave charts. Okay, so in terms of the audience, this webinar is for beginner, okay, and intermediate level of traders with no or little knowledge of Elliott Wave. And if you understand and if you know some basic Elliott Wave structures that will be useful, like impulse, zigzag, flat triangle, double three, triple three, if you know some of them, then it will be useful for this purpose. But it's not going to focus on those structures. It's more like the emphasis for today's webinar is on how to read and interpret an Elliott Wave chart. So if you are someone who has no idea what to think about when you see an Elliott Wave chart, you don't know how to read it, you don't know what to anticipate, you don't know what to expect based on the chart, then this is the right webinar for you. Okay, and also if you are someone who wants to know how to label Elliott Wave charts yourself from scratch, this is also for you. So I will give you some tips on how to do that yourself. Okay, now just introducing a little bit about our company. We are Elliott Wave Forecast.com. We are a service company providing Elliott Wave forecast charts. We cover around 52 instruments now. So we provide the chart as well as we also have education. We provide many different courses and also mentoring hours if you need it. So that is our website over there. Let me just quickly go to show you the website. So this is our website, elliottwave-forecast.com, and you can see a lot of resources. If you are new, you can find a lot of videos and technical articles and so on for free. Okay, and we also have a Twitter account. This is our Twitter at Elliott Forecast. We tweet a lot. Updates and also articles, the newest article update. We are probably one of the most active in terms of the content. We update the content very active compared to any other competitors that we is also doing the Elliott Wave, because we are not a one-person company, right? We have a lot of people, and I'm just one of the person working. I'm the senior technical analyst in elliottwave-forecast.com, and I am currently in the level 2 charter market technician, CMT. So I'm going to go to take the level 3 and then become a CMT. So I'm in the process of getting my CMT right now. And yeah, this session is going to be recorded, Basim. So it will be available later on. And then let's take a look here. If you have any questions subsequent after this presentation of anything, all right, you can send me an email. I will give you my email. My email is hendra@elliottwave-forecast.com. I'm sending it to you guys now, my email. So if you have any question, you feel free to ask me and send me an email over there. Okay. All right. So let's get started. CMT, Charter Market Technician. It's just a certification for a market technician. All right. Just a quick introduction before we talk about the webinar for today. So in EWF, in our company, we have these 4 different blocks that will combine together. It gives you the ability to trade the right way, right? So in one block, one aspect of it is the Elliott-Wave theory. So what we are talking about today is just only a portion within the Elliott-Wave theory. That is this one, how to read Elliott-Wave charts, as you can see right here. So we are going to talk about this specifically for today's webinar. And as you can see, you cannot expect to become a really good trader in just 1 hour of free seminar, right? I mean, that's just common sense. Trading is just like any other profession. You need to commit yourself. You cannot expect to become a good doctor just by listening to someone speaking in an hour for free, right? So there is 4 building areas for you to become a good trader that is profitable, right? So first, you need to know the Elliott-Wave theory, and then secondly, you need to know cycles and sequences and correlation, and this is related to the Elliott-Wave theory as well. So in this aspect, you need to know trend and cycles, RSI, how to use the RSI together with Elliott waves, and then Fibonacci, stochastic RSI, and market correlation here. And then you also need to understand the risk management aspect, because you know that every trade is never 100%. You can always lose in every single trade you make. So you need to understand exactly where to put the stop loss that is logical and what kind of position size that you should open every time you trade. So that is the risk management aspect. Without risk management, even if you have the best trading system in the whole world, you will still fail as a trader. If you don't understand how to open the right size, you over leverage yourself, you will fail. So you need all of them. And then the last part here is the trading execution. And this is exactly the trading system that you use. So Elliott-Wave, think about Elliott-Wave charts, guys, as a map. Okay, so you have a map that gives you the probable path. But that map is not the actual trading system. And on top of that, you need to know exactly whether you can trade that chart or not, right? So you still need to have a trading system on top of it. And in EWF, we use this trading technique called the 3-7-11 swing. So we are using a swing sequence mainly, and also we use a lot of multi-time frames analysis with the 3-7-11 swing to basically find out whether something is tradable or not. So just because I see, for example, a chart in a 1 hour chart that is showing a line going higher doesn't mean I can just buy it at any random level. So this trading execution is really going to be your trading system. How exactly, where you should enter it, what level you should enter it. So there's a rule on it, right? And what kind of stop loss you should use. It should be logical on the stop loss. And then you execute it based on specific rules, which is, in our case, is the 3-7-11 swing. So if you have all this together, at least in our company, WF, then you can be a profitable trader. And today we are not going to talk all of them, because again, it's going to take a lot of time to just talk all of them. We're going to talk about how to read the Elliott-Wave charts for today. Now, if you're interested to learn more, again, cannot possibly talk about all of this in an hour, all right? And then we have further education materials. You can find it in our website. If you go to our website, we have 4 different courses. Learning Elliott-Wave. This Learning Elliott-Wave is talking about this aspect, the number 1, okay? And then EW structures and swing sequence, this second course that we have, that is talking about this execution, which is the trading system, how to execute a trade based on specific criteria, which is the 3-7-11 swing. And then the third one, trading execution seminar, is going to tell you exactly in the stop loss and how to open the right size and so on. So that is more towards the risk management aspect. Okay, and the cycle, sequence, and correlation is going to be covered in this 4th class here. This is also the latest class, and it contains many of the different ideas as well in the first 3 classes. So this is sort of like the combined class for everything. You can see that this class, for example, is 18 hours. This class is 4 to 5 hours. So each class, each course is in an MP4 format. It's going to be, you know, at least giving you 5 hours, right? And this last class is 9 hours. This is the price if anybody is interested. And there is a coupon code right here. This one, it gives you a 30% discount, but the coupon is going to be valid only until 28th of February. And this is only for if you are interested to pursue. It's not a mandatory. You're still free to just join this course, I mean this seminar today, and there is no other obligation or anything like that. Okay, and let me just type in the code if you're interested, because otherwise all right, so this is the code for 30% off classes. Okay, and then you can buy it here if anyone is interested. You can go to educational, right here, educational products, and then right here you can go to services, and then you can see these 4 classes that I'm talking about here. And then there's also the package. The package is a bundle. So for example, the platinum package is going to give you all 4 classes, and then on top of that you got mentoring hours, and that's what I said earlier. Our company provides education, mentoring, as well as the Elliott Wave chart itself, like the forecasting itself. Okay, so again, let me go back here. Okay, so these are the 4 classes very quickly, and then we go to our topic today. It's just explanation. If you want to pursue anything further after this to to pursue your education. So right here we got this package. We have Platinum, Premium, and then also Platinum, Premium Plus, and Premium. These are basically bundles that include several education classes from the previous class that I explained here. And then on top of that, you also get some one-on-one mentoring hours. So if you need that, then there's a platinum, a package for that. And for this, you can also get a 10% off. This is lower than the 30% off because there is man hours involved here. So actually our analyst is going to contact you for that if anybody is purchasing this. So this is the coupon code to buy the package. I'm going to quickly send you the coupon code from the package now, so that if anybody is interested, to buy, and then you can use it. And then we can start with today's webinar, okay? So this is 8E3C 56182B, yes. So this is the 10% for the package, okay? So the way to do it is when you are in the website, when you are ready to check out, then at that time you can provide, let's say you want to buy platinum package, you can enter the coupon here. All right, guys, so that's it, and then we can start for the topic today. Which one is it, David? So probably there's my typo. I mean, you should go with the website, by the way, because the slides is not. I mean, of course but you still get the 30% off anyway. Okay. Yes, when you purchase it, you will be able to get the MP4 file and download it into your computer, and then you will keep it. All right. Oh, by the way, if anybody is in, we also offer a trial, guys, for, if you want to become a member, okay, the member basically gets to see the charts, the forecasting chart, as well as can join the live trading room, live sessions, and so on. Then you can also join the free trial, which is a 14 days free trial. This is the link for the free trial to become a member. No commitment over there. After 14 days, if you don't like it, you can cancel it. That's the link for you to join for the free trial, 14 days. All right. The certificate is kind of only when you do the mentoring exam, but not the courses, not the online courses. This one. All right. This one you can get if you want to. With the mentoring hours, you can get it. No, Elliot, we don't believe in the indicator, Nijada, because it cannot beat a human, to be honest. We've been in this business for more than 10 years, and we know exactly that the so-called indicator, Elliott-Wave indicator, cannot possibly be more accurate than a human. Oh, you just join that. You put in all your information, Anil, and then they ask you for a credit card, but then the credit card is not going to be charged. It's just for because we try to limit. We try to make sure that you've never been registering with us before. That's why we ask you for your credit card, but we're not going to charge you for the first 14 days. Okay, you just join. I mean, you just follow that link I sent earlier, and then click that, and then you can join it. You're welcome. Okay, guys, so everything clear, right? So that is for you some information before we start. Now let's start with the topic today. Now I hope that most of you are pretty new to Elliott-Wave with little or limited knowledge, all right? Then you will be able to find this seminar today helpful. Okay, so this is a very, very important concept, guys. I mean, this is silly, but it is very important. If you want to understand Elliott-Wave, think about broccoli. Okay, this is called the fractal nature of wave. What this means is that smaller patterns can be identified within bigger patterns. In this sense, Elliott waves are like a piece of broccoli. The smaller broccoli combined together becomes a big broccoli, but then the small broccoli and the big broccoli looks exactly the same. And that's exactly what it means, the fractal nature of wave. So we are talking about waves or swing. I mean, the technical chart that you see is, is waves, right? Swing. So the swing can be small, can be big, different degrees, different time frames. But it's always that when you look at the smaller cycles, smaller waves, that pattern, that structure in the smaller cycle or smaller time frame looks exactly like the bigger pattern. So they together combine becoming a bigger wave. And that's exactly what this means. All right, so if you understand this analogy here, you can understand Elliott wave. Okay, simple. Now, let's continue. Now, this is probably the most important thing that you should know when you want to read an Elliott wave charts. This is called Elliott wave degree. Think about this as a dictionary. Think about this as a dictionary. Now, suppose you don't speak Spanish and you are reading Spanish, right? What do you need to do? What do you need to do in order for you to be able to understand what it says? You need a dictionary, right? So the same thing when you look at the Elliott wave charts, especially if you are new to it, you need a dictionary that will be able to help you to understand what the chart is saying. So this is the dictionary. Think about this as the dictionary. So this is talking about different Elliott wave degree. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 different degrees in Elliott wave. Okay, from grand supercycle, cycle primary, intermediate, minor, minute, minuet, sub-minuet. The lower it goes, this means, think about the broccoli again. The lower it goes, the smaller the broccoli, right? So same thing, the lower it goes here, the smaller the wave, the smaller the time frame, the smaller the cycle. Everybody understand? The bigger it is, the bigger the wave, the bigger the cycle, the bigger the time frame. Okay, so you will find grand supercycle, and cycle degree appearing in the weekly time frame mostly. These first three appearing in the weekly and the daily time frame. And then the primary, intermediate, minor, the second three sets here appearing mostly in the daily and the 4-hour. Okay, daily time frame and the 4-hour time frame. And then the last three here appearing mostly in the 4-hour and the 1-hour time frame. Everybody understand, right? So different degrees has a different ways, different rules. Look at the way you label it. So this is how you can know what kind of degree it is we are talking about by knowing this symbol, by knowing this this table here. So basically you have to refer to this table before you can interpret and read the charts. Now, all right, everybody understand so far, right? Now let's take a look here. How to read an Elliott wave charts. This is the steps here. We will have a chart, JK, don't worry. At the end, we will do a live example with real data, and so you will be able to understand. All right, now this is the steps to read an Elliott wave chart. You look from the higher time frame first. So for our purpose, we use the weekly time frame as the highest time frame. This recording, once it is done, is going to be uploaded. You can email me if you cannot find it. I give my email at the beginning, okay? So look from the higher time frame first, and then from there you proceed to the lower time frame, okay? So you start with the weekly chart, and then you go down to the daily, you go down to the 4 hour, and then you go down to the 1 hour. Get a feeling about the current cycle of the instrument that you're looking for, whether you're looking at Forex, like Euro, US dollars, or you're looking at indices, S&P. You need to get a sense of where the instrument is relative to the overall direction. Okay, it's important here. By looking at multi-time frames, you must get a feeling first. You must get a sense where you are. Like a map, like I tell you, it's a map, right? Elliott wave chart is like a map. Weekly chart is like a world map. 1 hour chart is like a street map, right? You want to go from one continent, from one country to another country, you need to have several different maps. You need to have your city map, you need to have maybe a country map, and you need to have world map, and so on, right? But each map is going to be progressively having more details, right? So the 1 hour contains the most detail, but this is like the zoom in version of the 4 hour, and the 4 hour has more details than the daily. It's a zoom in version of the daily, and so on. So this is like a map, but if you only look at the 1 hour without looking at the 4 hour, daily, and weekly, sometimes you lost your sense of direction, and you lost the sense of where you are, because you only focus only on one time frame, on one like let's say 1 hour chart. Okay, so the steps is first to get a sense where you are. Secondly, you want to identify the same degree of Elliott wave label. So back to this one, you find the same degree of Elliott wave labels so that you know, okay, so this belongs to the same cycle. So primary is going to be like this, intermediate is going to be like this, and so on. So second step is identifying the same degree of Elliott wave labels. Okay, third step is identifying the largest degree Elliott wave structure first. I'm going to explain to you, we will go by example, so don't worry about this. And then go down and identify the smaller degree Elliott wave structures. Okay, we started at 8:30 p.m. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, Victor. Okay, so now for the example, the next example, forget about this. We're not gonna use this one first. Let's just look at this 3 here. Identify the same degree of Elliott wave labels, and then you identify the largest degree first before you go down and identify the smaller degree. Okay, so for you, for this purpose, it's very simple. I want you to memorize this. Only 2 degrees for you to, as an example from the next examples. You memorize the minor degree, which is a red color, capital letter, 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, W, X, Y, and the minute degree, which is black color, lowercase, double bracket. Okay? Everybody memorize? Minor degree is red, minute degree is black. It's very easy. And which one is the lower degree? The minute degree is the lower degree, right? Because the lower it goes, the lower the cycle is, the lower the time frame is, right? So you got only 2 degrees here for your practice, okay? Minor and minute. Now let's take a look at an example now. Minor is usually 4 hour and daily. 4 hour and daily. Okay? is an overlap. Now let's take a look at an example here. Everybody knows what kind of structure is this? What kind of structure is this, guys? Anybody knows? It's a motive. Yeah, a motive, but specifically what kind? Impulse. Yeah, impulse, right? Impulsive. So impulse structure in Elliott wave has 5 waves, right? Everybody knows, right? Again, like I said, because we are not going to talk specifically about structures, but look again, I asked you to memorize 2 different degrees, right? Minor and minute. You guys still remember minor is what kind of color? Red. Exactly. So look back at the step. You identify the same degree of Elliott wave label first. Now, the same degree first. Now, I want you to focus on the minor degree now, which is the red. What do you see from this low? You disregard the black. What do you see? You see 5 waves up. I'm not sure why some people cannot see the pictures, but I think it's on your end, JK, because other people can see it. Okay, but you guys understand, right? You focus on the same degree of Elliott wave cycle first, and you focus on the largest degree first. Do you guys see it's a 5 waves up here from this low, right? It's simple. Now, once you identify, okay, so this is a 5 waves up, this means this is an impulse. Now you can read it, right? Oh, this is an impulse. Simple, 5 waves. Now then, after you identify the larger degree, you identify the smaller degree, which is the minute. The minute degree, like I said, is in the black. Now you can see this one. From here to here, what do you see here? Another 5 waves up, right? Another 5 waves up, but in the lower degree. You guys understand? 5 waves up in the lower degree. In other words, this is the sub waves. Think about the red 5 waves as the big broccoli. Think about the black here as the smaller broccoli. This is the sub waves. So wave 1, in other words, wave 1 needs to have another sub wave that is also 5 waves. And that's why I'm telling you the smaller broccoli, which is 5 waves, looks like the big broccoli. The big broccoli is also 5 waves, but the small, if you split it up into, you peel it off, you peel the broccoli, you split it, you can see that the smaller degrees, in fact, is also looking like the bigger degree. It's also like 5 waves, right? So wave 1 has a 5 subwaves. Wave 2 has a 3 subwaves, which is labeled as an APC. So counter trend in Elliott wave is labeled as an APC. Impulse is labeled as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you got 5 waves together. After it ends the 5 waves in the minute degree, together it makes a wave 1 of a larger degree, a larger wave. Okay? And then you got wave 2, you got wave 3, also subdivided into another 5 waves. You got wave 4, counter trend, also APC. You got wave 5, also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, everybody understand that, right? It can be shorter than 1 hour, but for our purpose, if you want to trade the right way and if you want to trade profitably, I always recommend the smallest time frame that you should trade is 1 hour. You should not go to 15 minutes, 5 minutes, especially if you are new. I think the mistake of new traders is thinking they can trade in 5 minutes and make money. Okay, because the smaller the time frame, the more oscillations, the more whipsaw, and the less reliable. How can you indicate when a wave are set? What do you mean are set, Jen? That's how we're gonna do it next. Okay, we're gonna talk about how to label again also at the end. All right. So far everybody understand. We only have 2 degrees here to make sense of it, guys. It shouldn't be that difficult. Focus on the same degree, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is 5 waves up. Now, in our chart, sometimes we do not put the 5 here. So what we do is you see black 1, black 2, black 3, black 4, and then there is no black 5, and we put one red here. But that you should, because sometimes when you put a lot of things here, it can get confusing, and it can get redundant, and it's not really nice to the charts when you put so many different degrees or so many different labels. So we eliminate the last 5 and just we put 1 in our charts. And this way okay, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ending with one of the larger degree. Okay? Okay, so this is impulse. Now let's take a look quickly here. This is another structure called zigzag. Zigzag is a corrective structure. If you want to understand Elliott wave, very simple, guys. All you need to know is motive is 5 waves. We looked at it earlier. Corrective, there's only actually 2 main corrective structures that you need to know. Actually, three main structures that you need to know. One of them being zigzag. What does the zigzag look like? Focus on the largest degree first, which is the minor. It's manually, AK. A, B, C. Everybody see it, right? 3 waves, very simple. Disregard the minute degree, which is the lower degree. Then you look at the subdivision now. With A, needs to have how many waves? 5. With B, 3. With C, 5. In other words, a zigzag is a 5, 3, 5 structure. Correct. Easy, right? So this is some of the rules, the basic structures. I'm assuming that if you still don't know, this is kind of a review, a quick review. You have to memorize. You can write it down if you need to, but you need to memorize this. I mean, for those that practice Elliott wave for a long time, we sort of knows all this by heart already. So zigzag is a 5, 3, 5. Okay. Next, this is combining what we learned earlier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C. Then you get one cycle. It's called a 5 waves pattern. You got on the left side is a motive wave, and then you get a correction, which is a 3 waves down. You guys see it? In other words, this ABC in the red is similar to this ABC. Any correction is always in 3. This is correction 3. And then after you have a full 5 waves, just like this, 5 waves, you got 3 waves correction. You also get a 3 waves correction, but in the red degree. You guys see it now. On the right side is the correction. On the left side is the motive. The big broccoli is the same as the small broccoli. This whole 5 waves, same as like these 5 waves. This ABC, same as the individual smaller waves ABC correction in each one of these counter trend. Okay, guys? So when you combine, you get one full cycle of 5 waves up, 3 waves down. The 3 waves being the correction of the 5 waves up. Everybody understand? I see you guys quiet, so I'm not sure if you guys understand. And then notice, guys, yes, notice using the blue color here, right? Using the blue color, what do you see here? So what is the blue here, guys? What do you think the blue is? This 1 and 2 here. What do you guys think this 1 and 2 in blue is? It's in the higher degree, in the larger degree, exactly. So you go back to our dictionary earlier, that is the intermediate, which is the blue, right? So in other words, now it keeps progressively making up into a larger degree. These 5 waves in the red make up with 1 of the larger degree. These 3 waves down make up with 2 in the blue degree. So in other words, this 1 and 2 is kind of like the 1 and 2 in red, and then this black here is kind of like this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in red to the 1 in blue here. You guys understand, right? So they keep making progressively a larger degree formation. larger degree waves. No, our software is really not automated. Don't go to automated software, guys. Elliott Wave, like I'm saying to you guys, Elliott Wave cannot be automated, period. It's just no way that a software can be better than a human. Okay? Right, right. I mean, we're going to talk about specifically about reading, not really talking about, because we can talk about many different things about Elliott Wave, trust me guys, but we won't have enough time. But my focus today is really to help you how to read it, and then we're going to look at real-time charts after this so that you guys understand. Okay, now this is another very, very important structure, guys. I want you guys to memorize this. This is called a double tree, but forget about this. Forget about this. Forget about all these complicated things. Focus on the larger degree, the minor degree, the red. What do you see? Simply, how many waves are there? Focus on the red, the minor degree. Just 3 waves. Same as ABC, right? Same as ABC, same as zigzag we saw earlier. So WXY and ABC exactly in the same. You can see ABC earlier we saw in the zigzag. Usually the C is equal to the A. Now if you're talking about Fibonacci, this is 100% of the wave A. Same thing with the WXY. The Y is usually 100% of the W in terms of the target. Okay? But what's the difference here, guys? What's the difference between the two? Now you focus on the minute degree. Correct. So the difference is on the internal, right? On the internal. So this is 3, 3, another 3. How about ABC? You guys remember? What is ABC? 535, exactly. So that's the only difference, but everything else is the same. So don't get confused. When you see a W here and X here without knowing the right side, if I label this W and I label this an X, you know this is going to go lower and break this low. You understand, right? Because you know WXY is always going to be like an ABC. So let's say I close down this right side, you don't know what this is, and I label this W and X. Automatically, you will interpret the next direction is going to be breaking this low, right? Breaking this W. Same thing with the ABC. Let's say if I close down this right side, so you do not know this right side, I give you only A and B here. You know you can conclude based on this A and B, you know it's going to break this A, right? Simple. Let's continue. The last one, this is the more complicated one, is called a flat. A flat is also labeled as a zigzag, like a zigzag as an ABC, but there is a difference compared to a zigzag. What's the difference here, guys? 335. So a flat is a 3, 3, 5, right? So you got, I would say like this. You got a zigzag, which is a 535, okay? And then you got a WXY, which is a 333, and then you got a flat, which is a 335. Everybody understand? So for your purpose to understand Elliott wave, probably you only need to know these three structures. These are the most important structures. Okay, so there's a triangle and some other variations, diagonal and all the stuff, but you can learn that later. But for your purpose, these three are kind of like 80% of the entire structures in the market. Okay, so a flat is like a consolidation here. It's like a sideways. Unlike a zigzag, which the C is going to break this, and then the C leg is going to be equal to the A leg. You can see that the C leg here is kind of not really. I mean, it breaks this, but it breaks this marginally or retesting the low. And then the B here breaks this high. Unlike a ABC zigzag, the B in the zigzag never pass above this, right? The B is usually somewhere here around 50%, and then the C like this. So that's the only difference with a flat. Think of a flat as a sideways move. Okay, a flat, a zigzag, and WXY, Sukantan. Those are the three key corrective structures in EW, in Elliott wave. Okay, let's continue, guys. Okay, let's take a look at an example. It's called a double correction. Like I said earlier, Jojo, it's similar to an ABC. Don't get confused too much. It's like an ABC. 3 waves. Focus on the minor. Focus on the minor. Ignore all these tiny waves. ABC, similar, but you label it as WXY. Why don't I label it as an ABC? Because it's a 3 here and a 3 there. ABC is a 5 waves here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the C also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So again, zigzag 5, 3, 5, WXY 3, 3, 3, flat 3, 3, 5. All right? Now, let's take a look at an example now. Okay, I'm choosing a pair called New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollars. Okay, this is a cross. We do not cover it in our service, and that's why I can use it as an example for this purpose. Otherwise, I mean, I just want to protect our client's privilege. So this is something I do my own. We don't cover this pair in our service. Okay, this is a 4-hour chart. Now, how can I read this chart when I'm presented with this chart? Remember the step that we talked about earlier. So what are the steps? Right here. Okay, so now this one here, okay, let's focus on it. Identify the same degree Elliott with labels first, and then you identify the largest degree, then going down to the smaller degree. All right, you guys ready? Again, this is your dictionary. We're gonna refer to this dictionary if we get confused. All right, let's start. Let's suppose I just want to see from here and here what kind of structures, what can I expect? What do you guys think? Focus on the largest degree first. Focus on the same label, the same degree, and focus on the larger degree first. What can you see here, guys? What can you conclude if you only see one time frame like this? A WXY, correct. A WXY is your largest degree, Abdullah, right? Everybody catch it? Which WXY? Which WXY, Abdullah? Which degree of WXY? Tell me the color, or tell me whether the minor degree. Okay, let's take a look here. The minor degree is red. Okay, well, let's take a look. Red. Okay, so everybody say red. Any other thoughts, guys? So what I'm saying is this. What exactly should I expect? If I don't have this, what should I expect with this pair? How do I read these charts? How do I know whether this is going up or down? How do I know? The blue. Okay, somebody said the blue, but which blue? There are 2 different degrees of blue here. Yes, yes. So look at this, the intermediate degree. The intermediate degree. Capital letter blue. Okay, let's take a look. Where do you see that blue? Here, capital letter, and here. So if this is a W and this is an X, what do you expect, guys? Is this going up or going down? Going up, correct. So without knowing the previous, let's suppose I do not know the left side, okay? I don't have data long enough to see the previous charts. If I label this as W, I'm expecting from here, there's a W, and there's an X, and now I'm in the Y. Okay? Again, focus on the same degree, focus on the largest degree. Now, within this blue, now after you identify the largest degree, I think your job is much easier, but you got to understand first how to interpret this chart. Now, if you understand, okay, I can catch this. This is my largest degree in this chart. This is the intermediate degree. Now, automatically, I know this is going up. I'm expecting that this pair is going up. Right? How about all these other things here? It makes me confused. Now, look again at the dictionary. One lower degree than intermediate is the minor degree, right? The red color. Now look back here. Look back at the charts. You see in the red, one lower degree. It's a W and X again. So what does that tell me? This lower degree is nothing more than the smaller broccoli, the subdivision, right? In other words, the move from here is labeled as a WXY. It's only 3 swings. The blue X is not. It's the same. We don't label it differently. It is the same with the standard Elliott wave methods. It's just that people always try to label everything in 5 waves when it is not 5 waves. Okay, guys? No. You look at Elliott wave textbook, they have WXY. Not everything is an AB. Like I tell you guys, if you do not see 535, do not label as an ABC. Very simple. Don't force everything an ABC if it's not 535. You go by the rules, right? All right. So everybody understand this is a WXY. Now, this does not look like an impulse to me. Does not look like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's why we label this as WXY. You can see this is another 3 waves down. All right. So you go progressively lower if you want to understand how to read. So one lower degree than the red is the black. We memorized this earlier, minute degree. Okay. So I'm trying to finish this by, let's say, 9:45. So I have to be a little bit quick, guys. So sorry if I cannot answer every question that you have. So again, if I have to draw it to you, this is the form, okay, which is the internal degree. And then if I have to split it again, peeling it off, then next one will be in the black. Another 3 waves. From here, another 3 waves. You guys understand? So in other words, this is a WX. And like I said, we usually do not type the Y here because then you will have too many labels. Then so, eliminate this and then put the X here. Same thing here, we do not put the Y in black here. Okay? The W structure is a flat, an ABC. A, B, C. It's a flat. This W in black, that's your question, right? Because there's a bunch of W in black. So I'm assuming, yes, I'm assuming you're asking about this W here. Right. Okay, guys. So, but I think the main idea, guys, is to understand that you have to link, if you have to draw yourself with your hand, you connect the same color. You connect the same degree so you know the pattern. See, you connect the same, always the same color, the same degree for you to understand the pattern or the color and how to read the charts. So everybody sort of get it. So from here, what do I have? I have this W, I have this X, and now I'm expecting a Y, right? There is, Jojo, there is. A W can be any corrective structures. A W is a combination of the internal of a W can be a WXY, it can be a flat, it can be a zigzag, it can be anything. All right. It can, Jojo. I mean, I hope that you don't argue with me, but W is a can be a combination of any corrective structures. Okay, in the book they only give you usually a double zigzag, but it does not have to be a zigzag. It does not have to be a zigzag. It can be any corrective structures, and that's why we got a lot of different possibilities. I don't have the slides with me, but I cover it in other webinar called the Elliott-Wave structures. W can be any corrective structures, not always a zigzag. All right. Okay. So that is how to read. You need to understand, match the same label, start with the largest degree, and only then you can try to read it and understand what you can expect out of the charts. Okay, and we look at an example of a 4-hour New Zealand dollar CAD earlier. Okay, now let's take a look here on this one. How to label, okay? How to label Elliott-Wave charts yourself. You start in the highest time frame. You identify the main trend first when it is possible, when you can catch it. And then you identify the main connectors. What is the main connectors? This is like somebody told me earlier in the W and X in blue. That is called the main connectors. So you go to the highest time frame first, you identify the main trend, and then you identify the main connectors. Then once you do that, you identify the Elliott-Wave structure from the highest time frame first, then label it using the highest Elliott-Wave degree. Then once you do that, your main task is done. So after you finish labeling, let's say in the weekly chart, you are pretty much done. The subsequent task for you is only putting the details of the sub waves in the lower time frame. When you go to the daily, you're not creating everything from scratch. You go filling up the sub waves of the weekly time frame. So therefore, when you try to label, you have to label from the top down. You start with the weekly, you go down to the daily, 4 hour, 1 hour. Once you finish with the weekly, your task is done. Pretty much everything else subsequently, the lower time frame is nothing more than filling up all the subwaves and getting more details on the swing. Okay, so you go down to the one lower time frame, fill subwaves label using the appropriate degree, continue to fill in the subwaves labels in the next lower time frame using progressively smaller Elliott-Wave degrees. So I think the main task really is figuring out the largest degree Elliott-Wave. That is the main task that you should do when you try to label it yourself. All right. Well, yes, Jojo, exactly. Elliott-Wave does not have an end. It progressively make up into, just like you cannot say there is no such thing as the smallest degree of Elliott-Wave, just like there is no smallest degree of broccoli. You can always split it up, split it up, split it up, split it up. So it's into the micro atomic level if you want to, but there's a level in which we stop, which is the 1 hour. There's a level in the highest degree where we stop, which is the weekly, right? But it will progressively keep making up the small, the higher degree and so on. Okay. Now, yes, I will show you an example using the same chart. Let's say we start with the same pair, New Zealand dollar CAD. Like I said, we start with the largest degree weekly. Now, let's go back. in the highest time frame where we are now, the weekly, identify the main trend if you can, and the main connectors. Let's go back. Right here. First, before labeling anything, try to identify the trend. Try to identify the trend first. What do you think the trend is? Up. Yes. Why? Why do you guys think it's up? It's a high, right? Yes, it's a high. Therefore, it is bullish, right? It is bullish. Now, try this next one. Okay, you identify the trend. It is possible to identify. Now, try to identify the main connectors. Where do you guys think is the main connectors most likely? Now, if I want to know what is the target, okay, everybody says up, but what's the target here? I want to know the target. Gives me the target to the upside. I want to know, if I want to trade, I need a target. I need to know where I should take my profit. And therefore, for you to do that, you need to know the main connectors, right? So the main connectors in this weekly chart, where do you guys think? Look, so if I start from here, somebody says, okay, first of all, what kind of structure is this? How are you going to label this, guys? If you are trying to label this, how are you going to label this? Is this 5 waves? Is this correct? Is this corrective? Is this impulse? What is this? Okay, so most people, somebody say impulse, somebody say corrective. Yes, it is corrective, guys. It is corrective. Now remember, impulse is very clear. Impulse is very strong without a lot of overlap like this. And this is a clear impulse without any overlapping. Now this is very overlapping, believe it or not. Okay, 1, 2, 3, looks like equal to me, equal leg, and then correction. The correction is also in 3. Another 1, 2, 3 looks equal to me, and then this leg looks to me equal to this leg. You guys agree? Everything is corrective there. There is no impulse. There is no impulse. I cannot label this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I cannot, because for me to label as an impulse, you need to know the rules of the impulse. The rules of the impulse is, again, if you guys remember, what's the subdivision of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? What's the subdivision of a 1? The subdivision is also should be in 5 waves. Subdivision of wave 3 should also be in 5 waves. Subdivision of wave 5 also need to be in 5 waves. And wave 3 has to be long. In the impulse, wave 3 usually is the longest wave. I see everything as equal. Like, if you don't believe me, I use this tool called Fibonacci extension. Let's say from here, I measure to here and then here. Now what do I get here? I get this leg, and this leg here is 100%. This leg is 61.8. Okay, so again, back to the question of where can possibly I put the main connectors here, guys? Somebody told me the answer, I think, earlier. I think he got it right. Let me see who got it right. Somebody say in 2014. Sanjay. Yes, Sanjay got it right. This, guys, is the main connectors, guys. Do you guys see it? Now you need a little bit time to train your eyes to catch all this, guys. Now if you want to use a trend line, you can use it. Look, this is the only time when this trend line is broken here, right? This means this is a new cycle. This is a new cycle. It breaks the trend line, and that's why this is your main connectors. Now, if you understand, okay, this is bullish, the trend, and this is my main connectors, so without labeling, you know, okay, so what should I target? Then you measure of, okay, if this is a W, because I cannot label this as an A, guys, because again, an A has to be 5 waves impulse. I don't think this is 5 waves here. Then this potentially can go all the way to here. But remember, this is weekly chart. It's not going to happen overnight or in a week. This is going to happen maybe in 2 years. It's going to go to 117. You understand, guys? All right. So now, okay, going back here, you identify the main trend, you identify the main connectors, you identify the structure. We talked about it earlier. You only need to know APC or WXY and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. That's all you need to know, right? And based on the internal, the subdivision, and so on. And this is another example why, guys, we believe in the today's market. It is a lot of people who start Elliott wave, they always focus on impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They always try to find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 when there is no 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The fact of the matter, guys, in today's market, trends, what is so-called trends, do not have to be in 5 waves. This is a living proof of that. It can keep trending up in a corrective manner. Look, 1, 2, 3, correction. Another one, 1, 2, 3, correction, 3 waves down. Another 1, 2, 3. I do not see any 5 waves here. Everything is 3 waves equal, 3 waves equal, 3 waves equal, right? And that is what we call the new Elliott wave theory, right? It's different. We know where to put 5 waves. We know where we should not force 5 waves. In today's market, driven by algos, high frequency trading machine, 5 waves is less happening. It still happens, but not as many. 5 waves happens more often in the stock market, in the indices, but less so in the forex market. So if you're trading forex, in fact, if you're trading forex, you should be always open your mind to the possibility it keeps trending in the 3 waves. Okay? All right, guys. So now I'm just giving you an example here. Okay? And then once you figure out the highest time frame and then label it, then your task is done. So right here, let me show you the one that is completed. This is the one that is completed. Like I tell you, this is my main connectors, right? If I know this is my main connectors, all of this is nothing more than the sub waves of this, right? Now what kind of sub waves? Thinking about WXY again, because again, I do not see any 5 waves at all here. So here, even with just your eyes, you know that approximately this is the mid-level of your entire W, right? That's why you see the blue box here equal X. So this W is equal to the Y here. It's 3 waves up. 3 waves up, that's why you got a reaction lower. Okay? So back to the dictionary, if you want to go to the dictionary. So what labels do I use here? I use the cycle degree. Remember, this is a weekly chart. So this W and X here, I use the cycle, and then super cycle is here. So I do not know, let's say I do not know this. Okay, I don't even need to put this. I don't need. I have to start from somewhere. So I can say this is 0. This is my starting point. I don't need to know anything before this. I don't need. I know that this is a WX. I'm expecting more upside. Okay? Because it breaks this high already. Look, it breaks this high. It's a high, like some people say. So it's bullish. I have to keep going it to the upside. Okay? And then once you figure out this is your main connectors, okay, this is the mid level of the W. Okay, this structure looks to me like a WXY. And then this W here is one lower degree than the W here, right? So one lower degree than the cycle is the primary, so I use the black. So that's why I use the black. And then look again, I have to fill in all the details now. How about this? It looks to me the W, this is the mid level of the W in black here. Now go with me guys, follow me. I hope that you can understand. It's another 3 waves, equal leg again. So this is my lower degree, intermediate degree here, okay? WXY. And then here is another WXY of the lower degree again. Okay, so all I am doing now is just filling up the details of the subwaves. You figure out the main, you figure out the subwaves, what kind of structure. Okay, in this case, everything is in 3 waves, guys. So remember, you go progressively lower from here. This is the subwaves of this W in red. The W in red is in a cycle. One lower degree is the primary. You go to the chart. This is the primary degree. So this is a WXY in the black here, but I don't put the Y here. Some people confused. Some people, anybody understand what I'm saying, or everybody is confused? What if I do it step by step? Like this. What if, like I said, I know this is my main connectors. I label my main connectors as a W here and an X here. And all I'm doing now is I'm trying to fill in the labels. I know this is my main connectors and I'm using the cycle degree for my main connectors. So I need to figure out what kind of structure is this. The internal, the subwaves of the W. And it is very corrective, like people say. So it looks to me that the best way to label this is another WXY here, which is 3 ways up again, where this leg is equal to this leg. So I need to label this as another WXY. But which degree of WXY should I label this? I go down one lower degree, then the cycle degree is the primary degree, which is black. Okay? So that's why I will label this black here. Everybody understand so far if I do it this way, step by step. So this is the Y, but I'm not going to put the Y because it's going to be too many labels. So, but you should understand this is what I mean. A WXY making up a W of a larger degree. So now, how can I fill this? How can I label this? Well, it looks to me this is another WXY right here, another 3 waves. So then I should label this WXY as well. But what degree? Lower degree than the black. So I go down to the dictionary again. Lower degree than the black is the blue. So I go to the chart and I fill in a blue degree here to this, which is one lower degree than the black. Everybody understand? Okay, so I hope that you guys understand what I'm saying. I still have 5 minutes left before I have to end because we have a New York live session after this. Okay, so that's how you do it. Once you figure out this, guys, your task is done. You have a complete set of the weekly chart, right? You label all the weekly charts, and all you need to do now is go down to the daily chart and you fill in all the details. The daily chart is nothing more than a zoom-in version of a weekly chart. So now let me go to the daily chart. This is a daily chart. So where's the daily chart starts from? It starts from the X in red, okay? Starts from the X in red. So you go to the weekly chart, where's the X in red over there? It starts from here. So the daily chart is nothing more than zooming in this part here to get more details. Now because you got more details, you got more to fill in. You got more to fill in the subways, but you go progressively smaller degree, like I said. So you got this W and X in red and then W in blue, right? So you have this as your main connectors now. It should tie. It should not be different than the other time frame. Look at this. So from here in the weekly chart, you got this W and X, right? Same thing in the daily, you got this W and X. But in the daily is a more zoom in version, so you got more to fill in with the smaller degree Elliott wave. And then you got this W and X in red here, should be in the same as your weekly chart here, this W and X, right? But in the weekly, you don't fill in all of this because then you got too many labels. That's why you fill in all the details in the lower time frame, in the daily time frame. Now you start filling in all the sub waves. And then again, once you're done with the daily, you go to the 4 hour. The 4 hour is a zoom in version of the daily. So if you compare this, so it starts from the W in blue and the X in blue in the 4 hour. So this means in the 4 hour, I'm zooming in on this portion right here. That's what I'm zooming in when I look at the 4 hour chart. So again, now going down on the 4 hour chart, I see this W here, X here, and this W and X in red here. And that is the same as this WX here and this X blue, right? And so it should all tie up, guys. It should all tie up. So this is the weekly chart. Like I said, we start with this earlier, right? We know the W and we X and looking for higher. But if you look at multiple time frame, you look at the daily chart, oh, you know, okay, I can see more picture now. Oh, so this is actually looking for this. Okay, when you look at the daily, you know, okay, before in the W, I have this long rally in 3 waves, which is this smaller degree WXY. Okay, and then the 1 hour as the smallest time frame, of course, is zooming in even more details here. It's nothing more than zooming in starting from here in the 4 hour here. So 1 hour is just looking at a very tiny fraction of this. So if you're only trading in the 1 hour and you do not know the 4 hour and the weekly and the daily, sometimes you get lost. You do not know where you are. So it's important for you to look at it from the highest time frame down to the smallest time frame, so to get a sense exactly where you are, and then to know exactly what you should do. So now if you know that the weekly is bullish, the daily is bullish, and so on, as a trend trader, what you want to do is doing what? You want to buy in the dips. You don't try to sell. So that's the essence of trend trading, is you look at multiple time frames and then you identify the trend, you go with the trend and buy or sell the dips and the correction, and then following the larger degree trend. Okay guys, unfortunately guys, I have to end, but it's been my pleasure, okay guys, to do the seminar with you guys. If you got any question or anything, just send me an email, guys. And the recording is going to be processed and then we're going to upload it in our website. And if you have any question, yeah, feel free to email me. All right, guys, thanks very much, guys. And see you guys again next time if we got any other seminar. Bye, everyone.